So, in the beginning of this connection, the masculine mirrors you so you can see what you need to work on. And until you get the hang of this, you will just continually be triggered by what they're doing or not doing or the way they are acting. And what you learn how to do is to observe what they're actually showing you about yourself so that you can work deeper. That is why they are your perfect mirror, and that you use that tool as a gift and really start to do the deeper work. Now, of course, everyone is a reflection of us, but we do not have this intense pull to be with this person that's going to allow us to do that work. Most people will be like, well, screw them, that's how they are, or, oh, I don't like that person, they're annoying, without actually being like, okay, what does that mean for myself? Because if I think they're annoying, then there's something in a part of me that is actually responding to that and I don't like about myself. Like, if they're successful and that is threatening, okay, what does that mean about me? Why do I think I can't be successful? Because that success is not going to threaten me when I am fully living my life and feeling that purpose, being fulfilled and filled with that. So it's just showing you something that you need to see. And until you get into that mode, like I said, with Divine Masculine, you're always just going to be keeping yourself in a separation consciousness, where it's he said, she said, by the seashore. No, and you're locked into this me versus them and what they're not doing or what they're doing, whatever it is. So when you get the hang of that, when you're like, oh, they're running because I'm running from myself. Oh, they're not showing up for me because I'm not showing up for myself. That is the game changer, but it's only the first step of the game changer. Because when you start doing that work and you are really starting to understand that dynamic, you are going to be put into separation if you weren't already before. And that's natural and that's normal. You don't get to do the work together. You do it separately together. You're always together. You are one. You are one energetic system. But you don't get to hold their hand the entire time while you're doing this, because it's not a soulmate connection. They're the one soul, and you have to learn how to actually balance the polarities of the one soul into different physical bodies. And that's no easy task. Soulmates can work together and evolve and grow, but they're two separate souls. It's a beautiful thing. It's not better or worse. It's a different connection, and that is it. So, while you're doing this work in separation, which is really together, you are going to start to purge these lower dense frequencies that were previously in your body when you're working on those core wounds, and you really start to feel better. And in the meantime, that Kundalini that has been activated from the base of your spine is now ripping through your entire energetic system, working its way up the chakra system and clearing out everything that needs to be cleared out. And that looks like all sorts of emotions for you in the real world. Because, yeah, this is happening energetically, but it looks like crying. It looks like frustration. It can look like deep depression some days. It can look like being exhausted other days. It can look like feeling really great and really, loving life because it's moving through each time. It's not a linear thing. It's not like you get to check that point. Oh, I'm just, checking off boxes as I go. Nope. It's a spiral, and it goes back down deeper and deeper each time and then comes back up, right? That is the energy of this, okay? And it can be intense, which is why you have to learn how to ground, and you have to learn to observe the thoughts that are coming up and to detach from the emotion of it and to start to use your body as a vessel for energy to be lifted out. That is the alchemy of this. That is how you alchemize. But it does look like narratives and stories that are coming up to be released. They're not coming up to be latched onto and identified with as, oh, this is me now. This is just what happens to me now. No, you let it go. You release it. And each time you do, you are actually ascending. Ascension is not a place you go. It is something that you move into. It is what you already are, but you are releasing these things that keep you locked to lower timelines, lower perceptions, dense frequencies, slow frequencies. When you think of a wavelength that's very slow, it's that, because the energies of high vibrations. My phone keeps going black. High vibrations are very close wavelength, and they look like a straight line when you get that high up. And that is what you are. High vibrating wholeness. And that's what you're moving into. So that is what the ascension process is. And when this occurs, you may not be hearing from the masculine, even if they are reaching out energetically. And you may not feel that mirror so much in place because you're really starting to get aligned with who you are and what you came here to do and what you came here to be. And that is higher vibration, which is why it becomes physically impossible for you to reach out to the masculine when you are in that state. It feels sluggish. It will feel like nauseous. If you try to do it, you will immediately wish that you wouldn't. And it's okay if you do, but know that what comes up around that, even if it's just thinking about it, it needs to be released. That needs to come out of your system. So if you reached out to them and then regretted it, well, we're not going to have guilt and regret in our system, so we're going to allow that to be observed and let go of too. You see how this starts to work, how you start to work with it and really start to master your emotions, master your own narrative that has been keeping you stuck, trapped, and looping. This is what you move into. And as you do, they feel it. They feel your absence from that energetic place. They feel it energetically that you are no longer accessible to them. And that is when they start to have their activation, where they start to have their awakening, their rapid ascension, where they have to change everything in their life, just like you did, in order to reach you. So that is what is happening when you shift. They shift. There's a delay, but as one energetic system, they have no choice but to follow you. As the feminine, you are in the lead. You take control of your own life and surrender. And they have to too. If you need more help, my website is there. My one-on-ones are there. I am sending you so much love.